Where do all the young starlets go from here? Watch this video. Hello, welcome to the channel. I hope you're all well. So, if you've ever wondered about young famous people, young starlets, and you wonder, well, what's going to happen to them in the future? Are they still going to be famous? Are they still going to be doing what they're doing? We kind of don't need to look into the future. You just need to look at now and also in the past as well. If we take the entertainment industry, there are very few entertainers who last the test of time, who go into senior years and they're still doing what they're doing. They're still entertaining. Most, in fact, 99.9% only have a few years in the sun, let's say. Andy Warhol coined it perfectly. Everybody gets their 15 minutes of fame. Especially in the entertainment industry, you can shoot for the stars for a month or two and then you start falling back to earth. But what's happened in recent years is that people, young people, they've been self-promoting themselves. They've been getting onto the internet and becoming YouTube stars. They're becoming internet sensations. They don't need a big machine behind them to become famous. Many people, a few years ago, I was watching a whole series of programs and they were interviewing young people, and all young people wanted to be was famous. They were saying, well, what do you want to be famous in? I said, I don't know. I just want to be famous. People were just so hungry to be famous because they saw it as an escape from the everyday routine. Now, most people who have gained any kind of success or gained some kind of fame will probably tell you that the success is great and it opens up so many doorways and you get so many free things and life can be good in certain ways, but also the fame aspect is such a negative thing. They wish they could have all that, all the success, all the money, of course, but leave the fame aside. It helps in the very early career, but afterwards you just want to be left in peace. I was reading a report recently about younger people in an industry, in a high-profile industry, and then after a few years, they drop out of that industry, and the industry doesn't remember them. People don't remember them, and you wonder, well, what do they do? But also associated with that industry is alcoholism, narcotics, physical abuse, and also preying on vulnerable people as well. So what happens, people leaving that industry, then they're lost souls. They were kind of lost when they went into that industry, and they certainly lost when they come out. So you see a high suicide rate or a high overdose rate in young adults. Here in the UK, we've seen this recently with celebrities who've, have accidents, have incidents, have taken their own life as well. Obviously, there's been a very sad story recently with the One Direction star as well, Liam Payne. The issue for young people getting into any kind of entertainment industry or becoming famous on the internet is that they don't have the right counsel to protect themselves. They don't get the right advice. They don't understand that the outside world or the media world it's not a real world. The real world is their day-to-day life and how they interact with people. And if you stop interacting with people on a normal basis and you just live in this bubble, when that bubble bursts, you've got nothing outside. When you rely on people just to say how great you are all the time, or you can't handle, or you just read too much into the negativity that you're getting as well, then there's only one way your life is going to go. It's not going to be a good way. You're either going to suffer from alcohol addiction, drug addiction, or you're going to have mental health issues as well. One of the big issues associated with past fame is mental health issues as well. Now, of course, every young starlet, every young actor, singer, anybody who gets famous on YouTube, for example, it doesn't mean that their life is going to go to rack and ruin after the spotlight goes to somebody else. It doesn't mean that at all. And many people just go on and get normal jobs, right? They just become a plumber or a driver or start their own business somewhere. You would hope that people who are in the media or in the spotlight and who can command a high salary or high income, albeit temporarily, are being sensible with that money, and then they're investing it wisely. But the problem is, as we know, we're dealing with young people who would probably not necessarily think that investments is a cool thing to do. Also, that lifestyle will lead to them spending more as well, being frivolous with any money that they get. It's young people. We're dealing with young people here, right? It's going to be a greater percentage of young people who are not going to take care of their own affairs. It stands to reason. Whereas in the past, young people would get famous, or starlets, or they would be at the behest of a studio. They'll be tied into a management company, a promotions company, whatever it is. There will be some other machine behind them, for good or for bad. But what we're seeing now is that there's a lot more independent people, a lot more young people just doing it for themselves, which is great. And that could be a huge benefit in protecting themselves in years to come. But because there's so many more people, young people, trying to achieve, let's say, this influencer status, then it's so much easier for people to lose themselves as well. Where do they all go from here? Well, it really depends how society moves, how social media moves, and how young people can find a place in society going forward. But when you've got an ever-increasing number of young people, especially young women, making bad choices on the internet, let's say, in terms of doing things like OnlyFans and not fully realizing what the implications are going to be on their life in the future, then you're going to have a problem of those people engaged in these activities today. In 10, 15 years' time, you're going to see a huge swell, not only in mental illness, but also other issues as well. That may sound like a bit of a doomsday prophecy, but if you go on past experiences and past trends, then it can only really go one way. If you like what I do here, just keep on watching the videos, and I'll catch you again. Bye now.